and they're doing this film.
Didn't she come on our show?
Yes, absolutely.
She was awesome. I remember her. Yes.
Yes. There was there was a little bit of tension there because as you can remember, the book, my first book, came out right about that time, and like I said, the book will go down in history forever because of the amount of people that really liked it and the amount of people that were ready to crucify me over it. But hey, there's no such thing, I guess, as bad publicity when it comes to something like that. But yeah, I was doing a couple of book things and a couple of signings right up there when I saw you guys in Lexington, and right after I signed your books and gave your books to you and then did some other little press stuff, they came up to me, and I didn't know they were going to be there. And they asked me to be a part of this film. So I was like, sure, I'll go on camera, absolutely. And it was a lot of fun, man. And Nick was involved, and Ricky Dean Logan, who was Carlos and Freddie's dad, he did a segment for it, and all that. I don't know if I got to tell you as far as the crazy shit that happened. I was up there VIPing with Robert Englund and Mick and all the rest of the cast. Well, my wife comes up after me, after I go upstairs, and the security guards try to grab her because they think she's some psycho fan stalking after Robert Englund. And Robert has like 4 or 5
Which
guys.
I bet happens a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it probably does. But, I mean, seriously, these 4 or 5 guys, I mean, Vic, these guys are like 2 or 3 of Vic's size. These guys were fucking monumental.
Big boys.
They were just like just all over his shit. And Robert actually walked up to him and said, "That's Blake's wife. Blake is with me. Blake is with Nick. Blake is with all of us. So Lisa is welcome. You can let her go." So they let her go, and it was the craziest shit because she was so like freaked out because she was calm about it, but she thought they were going to try to throw her out because they thought she was some rabid fan. But Robert didn't. It was a lot of fun, man. I wish you guys could have hung out with us and stuff. We went out to eat after, and I got to sign a claw. It was really weird.
Yeah, you told us about that. You actually did tell us about that. I think the first show after that.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. I hope to see you guys again soon. I'm actually making a trip up to Bowling Green Friday. So,
cool.
I don't know how close that is to you.
It's about 2 or 3 hours away. Not that far. But our asses are. I'm working with Vic now at Five Below on the weekend. Speaking of Vic, he's here now. What's up, buddy?
What is up, fellas? What is up?
Hey,
Vic, I would be remiss.
Living the dream, fellas. Living the dream.
Yeah.
So Blake and I have both given our thoughts on the passing of Charles Manson, and I'm not torn up about it. I know how you are, Vic. Don't judge me. I'm not torn up about it. The dude was 83. I'm also not happy about it. I'm not one of these people that's celebrating his death. I just don't really, it's not, I understand its importance that he's gone, but at the same time, I know what he did, so I'm kind of like, fuck him, but at the same time, he was an interesting character in my life, but I know you feel a little bit stronger about it than me, so I'll let you talk about it.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to put it into words, honestly. I never considered Charles Manson to be a serial killer or whatever, and I feel like I don't want to say I had an attachment to him, but growing up, I didn't look up to him because that sounds horrible, but he always just seemed like he was there. Does that make sense? I mean, he's Uncle Charlie. I've always called him Uncle Charlie, and that's who he is to me. He's Uncle Charlie. I feel like he's a member of my family, an estranged uncle somewhere that probably gangbanged the whole family or something.
You dumbass.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like, I'm mourning the death of a crazy fucking monster, but I mean, it sucks. Because I feel that he served a lot of time for stuff that he didn't do instead of stuff he did do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, he had a hand in it, and I feel like that's
he did.
absolutely
There's no
true.
doubt about it.
And
There's
knowledge
no doubt
of
about it. Yeah, I mean, obviously he was the mastermind behind everything, but he's Uncle fucking Charlie, man. One of my buddies has his face tattooed on his fist. You know what I'm saying?
Logan Simon?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I'm not getting this dude tattooed on me. But I I feel that like a lot of people that they're like I'm getting blocked. I've been blocked by like 3 people that I went to school with, like because I said RIP to this dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting unfriended
Yeah,
by
but they're
people
just
that I don't even
snowflakes.
know. Yeah, they are snowflakes, and they're all like I just want to kick them all in the face. But I feel that the world is not a better place because we lost Charles Manson. He ain't hurt nobody in years. I mean, he's fucking been in jail since '69 or whatever. So it's not like he's not doing anything.
Well,
he had a family, he had a wife. You know what I'm saying? He got kids.
Well, Vic, let me explain my viewpoint on it. Let me see if this makes sense to you, because that's Blake, and you tell me if it makes sense to you, okay? If Charlie was executed 30 years ago, I would have been one of those people to celebrate and be like, ha ha, you fucking pussy. You know what I mean? That's what you get. Fuck you. But he died at 83, so I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, he lived a full life, and he lived a life in a place he wanted to live. So really, who got the last laugh?
I mean, no doubt. Like, I mean, sure. I don't know. Would it have been better if they would have just fucking killed him years ago whenever it all first went down? I mean, probably. Hell, it would have been done before I was born or as I was a little kid, and it wouldn't fucking matter to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
It's just weird. I don't know. Like, you know, him being gone doesn't change anything in my life. And the fact that he died at the age of 83 doesn't change anything. But, you know, when somebody like Aaron Hernandez dies because he kills himself, something about that affects me more because it's like, yeah, well, you know, he died before his time.
Yeah.
Justifiably.
Like, you're right. Like, Uncle Charlie lived a full fucking life. I mean, sure, mate. He's probably kind of happy that it happened in prison because, you know, who knows what would happen if he was a free man. I mean, he only got denied parole, like 11 times? But,
only.
You know, yeah, only 11 times, whatever. But, like, if he was out, who knows what would have happened, and he might have did some shit that, you know, people accuse him of anyway.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's probably a good thing that he just lived his life in prison and he did his thing, and, you know, he went crazy in court a couple times. And, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say, I kind of love Uncle Charlie, man. I'm not going to lie. I know it's horrible, it sounds bad, whatever, but the man lived a full life. Rest in peace. I hope now and plus he's a hell of a musician. I mean,
he's all right.
I know
he was better than the Gainesville Ripper. That's what I told Blake.
Yeah, like, Blake's got to respect that, right?
I don't think it's
I mean, I respect as a musician. You guys, I was telling Travis, you guys have heard my stuff, and I'm a guitarist, and I love, you know, playing guitar, and I love recording and stuff. So I do appreciate that he made a contribution to that world, and you know, he had something to say. But I sort of was telling Travis that everybody is so stigmatized to say horror movies and rock and roll and heavy metal and rap and video games are destroying America's innocence. No, it's the fucking hippie that plays guitar next door to you that orchestrates a murder from a fucking ranch and he never lays a hand on anybody. That's the shit you got to worry about. You know, they're so ready to stigmatize horror movies and say they're the problem, and heavy metal's the problem, and rock and roll is the problem. People are the fucking problem.
There's no doubt
I hate
that.
people, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, people are definitely the problem all over. No matter what the issue is, it's always the people thing.
Yeah.
Dickheads.
Yeah.
I hate them all, so there's that. And working with the general public.
Guys. Hey, you mean present company excluded, right? That's what you mean.
Well, yeah. I'm just talking in general. I mean, now that I get to work with the general public with Vic, all my feelings about the public are obvious and true. They are fucking dickheads, but you know, it is what it is. So I feel like Charlie's kind of an asshole because he's stealing away from another serial killer who I feel like owns November. I always feel like Ed Gein owns August. You know, because of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And Dahmer owns November. I've always felt this way. And why does Dahmer own November? Hell, we did a podcast on Dahmer a couple of years ago. It was rebroadcast this month. We're doing another one next week. I'm actually talking to John Borowski next Monday, which will air on, you know, whenever the fuck this show aired, you know, like on a Wednesday. But the point is, November is Dahmer's time. And why is that? Because we have a feast. And in November. It's called Thanksgiving, and something about a cannibal seems to fit with Thanksgiving for me. I know that's bizarre and strange, but Dahmer is a November guy, and so I feel like November is a Dahmer month. And it's funny that my friend Dahmer, yes, that's the name of the movie, people who have not heard of it, came out in November, and we got to watch it. And Vic and I, that's actually what we were doing last week. We went and saw my friend Dahmer, and I saw it again today. So I've seen it twice, but Vic, you haven't gotten to give your thoughts on a podcast about it, and neither have I yet. So I'll let you go first, sir. Obviously, we're not going to do a rundown of it because I need to watch it about 12 more times before I do that. So I'll let you run with it, buddy.
Yeah, I wish I really would have. I really wish I would have got to watch it again, just so I could, catch a few things that I didn't catch, or to really solidify my rating. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I love the story behind it. The fact that it's all about his childhood, his high school years, and because that's something you never really hear about with Dahmer. At least, outside of maybe our podcast, because we go deep into detail about everything. But I thought it was real cool to get that story. I thought the movie was a little long because there's a few parts that drug, which sucked. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie. Obviously, it's not the part of Dahmer that me and you would like, because we enjoy the Dahmer that eats black people and whatnot, or not black people, any people. We like the Dahmer that eats people. We like the Thanksgiving Dahmer. Obviously, it didn't get to that point as he was in 10th grade or whatever the fuck, looking like Napoleon Dynamite and shit. But the guy that played Dahmer, I thought was awesome.
Ross Lynch.
He nailed all the Dahmer facial expressions, and from what I know, it seemed like it went pretty well with how Dahmer's childhood went, and I thought that was awesome.
I would pick things out for you during the movie, but I'd be like, that happened.
Yeah, you're like, that picture really exists, so I had to go find a picture of him with prom, and it's pretty awesome.
Lo and behold, I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, I was impressed. But I went back and forth with my rating between 2.5 and 3, 2.5 and 3. I don't like doing 0.75 because that's not my style. I think when it's all said and done, I thought it was I thought the acting was pretty good for a pretty low budget movie and an independent film. It wasn't as cheesy as I usually expect. So I'm giving it a low 3, a low 3.
Yeah. Well, I actually reciprocate that rating, and I said this to you before. I watched it again today. My rating really didn't change. It is. It's just low at times, and it's shit that I get what they're doing with it. They're telling the story of how he became a monster. That whole thing, it's building, but the building's very long. But the acting, Vic's right. The guy who played Dahmer, Ross Lynch, awesome. Also, Vic, I want to give a shout-out because I hate this bitch most of the time. Anne Hesh, I have no use for her in any other movie. But in this movie, his mom, she did an excellent job. She did really fucking good. And so did his dad.
Yeah.
Dude did a good job playing Lionel Dahmer. And it was just it was a cool story about his high school years without delving into the cannibalism and all the other stuff. But, in his high school years, that's when he starts getting the fascination with bones and animals and realizing that he's gay. All these things are important to what he ended up becoming,
Yeah, man. I think one of the funniest parts is whenever he was at the doctor's and, the doctor's, grabbing his nuts or whatever, and he gets a boner all of a sudden. It was horrible. It was horrible.
But I think it really does explain. It does explain, Although I don't think that actually happened. I'll say that. For
Probably
the record.
Not,
I bet you that didn't
but
happen.
It was funny. I think it was a good add-on. A good add-on.
I like when he told this drug dealer. He said, "What's that trash bag for?" He was like, "For picking up dead animals, but I'm trying to quit."
Yeah.
So, fellas, a strange thing happened today whenever I watched the movie. Vic, it was in the same exact theater, right, at Village 8, the same exact one where we watched it.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching this movie, okay, I'm sitting in the back again so I can fucking play on my phone during the movie, and I start